And welcome back. Now, I haven't talked to her for a while. Elizabeth Jane, good afternoon.
Yes, how are you, Richard?
Look, I'm good. It's
Yeah.
2026. I'm all excited. It's always good to have that new year, isn't it?
Yes, yes. Wonder what's in store. Hopefully, all good things.
Well, you would hope so, wouldn't you? For so many
Yes.
people. And, as we look forward to the year, we've got to kind of let go of what's happened in the past, don't we?
Well, that's the critical thing, Richard. That's the thing that it's really important that we let go of our emotional baggage, because if we're weighed down, we tend to attract heaviness into our life. Our inner state is so important. We really need to reboot our inner state and make sure that we're recharged and we've reset, and we've let go of things that hold us back. Like resentment, and maybe it's deep grief we have to let go of, or grudges we have with people, and it's really just having an honest look at our internal makeup, and pausing and thinking, oh God, what don't I want to carry into 2026, because it's not gonna help me feel light and clear and connected to who I truly am if I'm carrying around this heavy baggage of whatever it is for you, whether it's
Yep.
resentment or guilt or
But
sadness.
I was going to say, you've been through some things in your life which have brought you to today, haven't they?
Exactly. So with me going through a shock divorce after a quarter of a century, 25 years, and not seeing, I was like a deer to headlights. I had no idea that this was going to happen to me, and it really plummeted me into a dark place where I felt very unworthy. I felt discarded. I felt, where do I go from here? I had children who were about to leave home, who were adults who, didn't need their mummy by their side, and a husband who didn't want me anymore. And all my roles were thrown out into the wind, and I really had to work out what mattered to me, and step up to being, the leader of my life, and to work out what really mattered, and to no longer, live for in my roles as, as mother, as wife, as daughter, being a perfectionist daughter. So it was a wonderful time and an awful time, if that makes sense.
So when you say that and you go, it's a wonderful time and an awful time, it is for so many people who've been through what you've been through, whether they're male or female.
Yes, that the bigger the obstacle is, the bigger the opportunity to blast out and to grow in so many ways, to actually lift up into a more abundant life. So when that challenge comes, that obstacle comes, just to stand back from it and go, okay, right, okay, this is meant to help me grow. Okay, what am I meant to learn from it? What's the lesson here? What is the lesson? And because unless we learn the lesson, we tend to get the challenges in the same genre. We get them in the same,
Yeah.
the same type of challenge will keep reappearing in our lives until we actually learn the lesson. It's sort of like a bit of a classroom in a way.
And I was going to say, some people would find it hard to learn that lesson, wouldn't they?
Well, I think that's the thing. So with my book, Free and First, Unlocking Your Ultimate Life, it's really about building you. You have to build your self-worth, your self-confidence, because otherwise you're going to turn a blind eye to bad behavior, perhaps, because you want to keep the peace. You're in that people-pleasing category, maybe, like how I was, and it's just much easier to just say nothing and carry on. Keep the peace and carry on. But until we can actually stop, pause, breathe, feel into what we're feeling, and recognize that we need to speak up and set a boundary, we can't process that heavy emotion that's holding us back, which is whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, whether it's doubt, whether it's whatever negative, so to speak, feeling that we're experiencing, it can't move on if we busy ourselves. Like we get so busy. That's the other thing.
That's life, isn't it? Sometimes
we can't get. That's the powerful thing, is to pause and breathe and feel the anger, feel it, because it won't budge from your system unless it's felt. Feel the grief and then work out what to do with it. But it's so hard, isn't it, Richard? I mean, we've all got our timetables, and we have to earn the bacon and earn the money for the bacon. We have to live, and we've got family responsibilities, work responsibilities, but if we can just pause in our day, it's so powerful, because we can let go of things that aren't helping us to be our best version of ourselves, to feel lighter. And it was like it didn't happen overnight, Richard, with me. It was like climbing Mount Everest, and I'm not there yet. but we're all work in progress. But
we are. I think we're work in progress to the day we die. We really are.
Exactly. It's like a big classroom here, and we're all learning, and we're all sort of. But I think as I say in my book, if we can grasp the tools and run with them, like practices such as self-reflection and checking in and how you're feeling, and working out what you really need and speaking up about that, well, it can help you feel lighter. And rather than just talking to everyone else about what you need, because that's quite often the situation. I used to do that. I'd talk to my girlfriends about what I needed rather than the person that you need it from.
Exactly right. When you went through everything, and I've talked to a couple of people like this, you lose some friends along the way. You learn who your friends are, don't you?
Yes. Well, it's a big spring clean. That's how I look at it. You have to really look.
Way. Say yes.
It's you have to declutter emotionally and physically. Emotionally, mentally, and physically, really. So you look in your life and you go, well, what's cluttering up my physical life? What burdens do I have? Whether it's a pile of rubbish in the garage or under your desk or whatever it is that's cluttering your physical life. And then you sort of go, okay, well, cleared out that was tick, I've done that. Then you look, and then you sort of stop, pause, breathe, and go, well, what do I need to change? Is it my friendship groups? Are they uplifting me? Are my friends supporters of me?
Yeah.
Or are they sort of are they sort of maybe not? And then, it's up to you to defriend them on your Facebook or whatever it is. You have to take charge.
You do, or defriend them in real life. That's hard.
Exactly. Like life is short, and we're all here. We want to have a good time, and we have to be true to ourselves. I'm doing a lot of work on authenticity, and until we can be truly authentic, feel into what we need, and follow through with what we need, we can't expect life to open in the best possible way for us.
Yeah.
We can't expect to attract opportunities and experiences if we're not our inner state is still holding on to resentment. If our inner state is still holding on to unresolved pain or grief. So it's finding ways to work through and process those heavy feelings, and that can be, like so many different ways. It's emotionally checking in and feeling into that feeling, or journaling, or for me it's painting, but it could be any hobby. It could be stamp collecting.
I'll get to the painting in a moment. So yes, on there, but it can be. You've got to find that outlet. You really do.
Yes.
For those things too, and it's you can pick up new friends when you do it, and you find suddenly you've got a new circle in life, haven't you?
Yes. I think when you find any hobby that keeps you in present, keeps you mindful, is helping magically to process the unresolved pain or anger or grief or resentment within you. So anything which keeps you fully present, whether it's, the dog walk in the morning or doing a yoga class or whatever it is for you, it doesn't really matter what form it comes in, as long as you sort of brings you joy,
yeah,
and keeps you fully engaged, and that really can help clear out any emotional baggage that you unconsciously often can be holding on to, that's holding you back.
And that's fair. I mean, that is hard for a lot of people out there.
Yes, well, I think it's hard for people because they think, oh, well, I have to keep busy. I have to keep busy. To be worthy, I have to keep busy. I've got work. I've got all these commitments. I can't find time for stamp collecting. I can't find time for this 10 minutes of self-reflection. But that 10 minutes each day is very, very powerful, and it is the most beneficial thing you can do going into the new year. Is to really take time out for you to actually reset, and to pause, and to breathe and to feel what you need going into the new year, because we can't accomplish anything if we're exhausted or wounded or weighed down. It's not going to work. We're not going to bring into our life new experiences and better opportunities.
Exactly right. Now, your website is elizabethjane.com.au, spelt with a Z, people out there, just in case but Google's very kind when it comes to those sort of things. And you can find all about your book, which is free and first. You can get it from your website, can't you?
Yes. And hopefully this year is going to be an abundant year for, and I'm sure it will be much better than the previous year, because I think it's clearing out all the clutter.
Exactly.
That's what we need to do.
And you've got you've got pictures of your art up there as well, which is, I've got to say, from somebody who could not draw to save his life, you're very good. I've got to say that.
Oh, thank you, Richard. Thank you.
No, they are wonderful paintings that you do. Again, elizabethjane.com.au. That's where people can come along, contact you, get in touch. Wonderful to talk to you again, and I think we'll have to do it very soon here on 5AA.
Great. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.